and she's in like big like platform heel boots, and like she's smoking hot, and she's got like a bag, and she looks like, I was like, holy, like I was just shocked because like it's not what you're expecting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I just go, hello, and I can't remember what name she said. She goes, "Are you Thomas?" She goes, "Thomas," and I go, "No, I'm not Thomas," and she goes, "Yeah, you are," and I'm thinking, well, maybe I am. Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding, episode 109. I'm Big Ron Partlow. Of course, I got Dusty Hanshaw and Scott McNally, and we've got some Instagram questions, and we're going to discuss what we discussed last week on It's Just Bodybuilding. Main topic, last week's show.
We keep that going for weeks. Main topic, 2 weeks ago show.
We're going to do a 1 hour roundup of last week's show.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Do you guys happen to watch the, speaking of shows, the show over the weekend?
I just saw how awesome Nathan looked.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
I like that the guy with the small waist somehow made it 4 inches smaller.
Yeah, he looked his lats look really like super freakish from the front, like in his standing relaxed. He has those crazy, like how Akeem's lats are, you know?
Yep.
He's guys got that. I don't know. It's one of the things I noticed when he opens up in his front relaxed. The first thing that I think is, fuck, his lats are fucking out there.
Right. Yeah. But it does.
know?
I felt like his waist looked smaller somehow. He looked bigger. He posted that video just doing his quarters and hitting his shots, and I'm like,
and
in my eyes, it was already done before it even started. I was like, well, this show's over. That's cool.
Yeah. Also, too, and this isn't a knock at all on Nathan because it's like a credit to him, but he doesn't have the biggest quads, but he has a fuck ton of adductor.
Yes.
And it makes his legs look huge. He has huge legs.
Yeah.
Like, does Nathan Diaz have big legs? Yes, they're really fucking big. And it's because his adductors are huge as well. Like, you know how some guys don't understand that they have to do that? You know? So, but Nathan has managed to, like, yeah, from the front, like his front relax when he first steps into it, it's like, oh, Jesus. So
His waist.
Yeah.
He has a very, like, a longer torso. So,
Yep.
you know, some people, there's a thing, you know, it's like guys who have the low lats that attach at their waist, they tend to get more of the bigger stomach look, whereas the guys with the high lats, they have that tiny waist. I saw him posting something where, like, a Instagram thing where he just stands there, and when he flares his lats, it's ridiculous how small his torso looks.
yeah. Yeah, he's got a great look.
It's Dennis Wolf, you know what I mean? With the high lats.
Yeah.
But they're massive, you know, and all the front shots are bananas for sure. But I thought he was nuts. Rulli came up significantly. Again, he was much better, but in my opinion, not close to Nathan. And then Samson came in third, and he's a guy who I don't know how he's not getting more love on, at least in the North America, as far as people realizing how good he is.
That's what this show will help.
We got second at the last one to
starts,
Nathan,
yeah.
third in this one. It's like, you know, he's a shoe-in to be in the 1, 2, or 3 spot in any of these smaller shows. You got to start watching him, you know?
Yeah. He's hard, man. He's real hard. I'm looking at his pictures right now. You know, he had like the really feathered quads when he's just moving around in his front shots. His quads are just lighting up like crazy.
Yep.
So I like that, you know, dry quads, big fan.
The rest of us hate that. It's terrible.
No,
terrible.
like in all seriousness, you know, there's things that you like as a bodybuilding fan,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, that's why I notice, you know, like I'm a huge fan of freaky calves, right? Because I never had them. So like,
I don't even know what they are.
yeah, you know what I mean? And then also too, just a guy when the quads are really dry in the front shots and they're sliced right up into the hips, That's just something that like it's just mandatory. Like you have to. Some people worry about like their body fat percentage and they're pinching their skin everywhere. It's like, just how do you look?
Yeah.
like you have to push those cuts up into the hips. The conditioning has to be there in the quads. It's always impressive. That's why Hottie to me is just fuck. I could have gave it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's what he has. That is like such a crazy strong point. Is he has that, and it's all over his body.
Yeah.
minor addition. It's funny.
He has that plus it's everywhere.
one of the pages, and I just happened to see it in Explore, did a comparison of Rami hitting like the quad stomp picture next to Jay hitting it, and you just really, of course, Jay's is the best of all time, so it doesn't matter. The comparison doesn't matter, but it did drive home exactly what you're talking about, which was that separation from kneecap to hip, and then cross striations all the way up as well.
Yeah,
it was interesting to see how many fans pointed that out. Like, nobody thought it was close, but it was just like, come on. The separation is night and day,
Yeah. I'm
I
always
always felt like Jay's low body reminded me of, how natural bodybuilders that are smaller, when they get sliced, it's just a different level of sliced.
Yeah,
than guys
it's like
that
they've
have done
never
growth or
retained
whatever.
water ever in their life because they've never done anadrol.
Exactly. It's like somehow that, because it's true. Like a peeled natural bodybuilder is got more going on, even though he's smaller than most peeled, especially when they get real big, 250 and up.
Yeah. So I had that show the same day as the Olympia. We didn't even talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Last week.
We should talk about your suit, by the way. That was sharp.
Both suits, 2 days in a row.
I like the one with the stripes, like checker kind of look.
Well, I got the one that was red and gray. It was like dark gray with red.
Oh yeah,
red pinstripes. And then I had the dark blue suit with the baby blue pinstripes the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like those suits. They're fun. I never dress up, once a year. So, but we did. So it was Olympia weekend. So it was so crazy that we didn't even talk about it. But I had a really great weekend because we had the West Coast Iron Van City Showdown open and natural show back to back Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And we had Paul Lauzon as head judge.
Right.
We flew him out. Paul Lauzon head judge the show. He's a great judge. He is very efficient and runs a good show, and he was super easy to work with. I emceed the shows both days, all day. So we started at 9 a.m. and we finished at 7 p.m. both days.
Long day.
Both days, yeah. And plus we had to get there at 7:30 or what. Some of the people went at 6 to set up and stuff. And then I was there about 8 o'clock, and we'd start at 9. And then, by the time I got out of there both nights, it was, way after 7. But they were both long days, man. Oh, yeah. And plus I had 5 clients. So it was like a hell of a weekend. It was hectic. Bet. So I'm like emceeing the show, and then I'll step behind the curtain and look at my WhatsApp. I'm like, eat a muffin. And then step back in front of the mic and be like, our next class up, So it was I had to be very engaged. I felt like I was when stuff has to happen and you just click into that mode.
Oh yeah.
I felt like a machine.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't need food. I ate, I made myself eat. I'm like, fuck, I gotta eat a meal. But right. I just felt like a robot. I was like, this is done. Power through this. This is gonna fucking smoke this. It was just, you had to have that attitude. It was fun.
It's like Chris Aceto mode. You just that's it.
Yeah.
Chris never eats. Chris never eats. I think you're onto something there. You switched into part Chris Aceto mode.
And just stay
half
calm.
A cup of coffee and go.
Yeah, stay calm. Don't sweat anything.
Don't comb your hair. Oh wait, that's too far. Okay. For 3 fucking days, sleep in your clothes.
I couldn't wear the same shirt. I couldn't wear the same clothes 2 days in a row though. I couldn't get away with that.
That used to be one of my favorite Acetoisms. You'd send him pictures and they look really good, and he'd go, "Keep everything the same. In fact, wear whatever you wore yesterday." It seemed to be
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you should train the same body part again.
Change
Yeah,
nothing.
exactly. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh
You're
yeah, the
talking about the
weekend.
show. Yeah.
So I got to mention this because he's a big watcher of the show. But my training partner Braden, B Palm Tree on IG, he won the overall. He won the novice or whatever, the true novice, and then he won the open class, and then he won the open overall, and in classic physique. So that was a huge win for us. It was a great group of guys. There was like 14 guys in the class, and it was really cool because the top 4 guys were all from West Coast Iron. So it was like
victory.
It was fun because it was like the 6 o'clock club, like all the guys that train at 6. Like it was great, It was like so much fun, and so I was happy for him because that's his first show, right? So it's always fun to win your first show,
I wouldn't know.
Win your first show. Yeah, exactly. And then I had 4 other clients. They all did really, really well, and it just went great overall. Pulled the show off. Watched the Olympia on my phone, So it was like funny. I had my phone like set up streaming.
Yeah.
The Olympia.
Wow, you're looking down.
Yeah. It was funny. It was funny. I was on Instagram, and some guys like stream it on their phone on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I had this one guy up the whole time for the night show, and I had it on the podium. It was pretty funny. So yeah, man. So it was good. So I had a big week. So then this week was my birthday week.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to you.
And so I kind of got all this work done. That felt great, to get like all this work done. The show was done.
Right.
And then kind of a little bit relaxed mode with the birthday weekend.
Nice.
So
what did we do for the birthday?
Emily got us a fancy. She just yelled something I didn't hear. Oh, anyways, she got us a fancy hotel. Hi. She got us a fancy hotel room downtown, and it was a big loft suite. It was fucking awesome, and it was dog friendly. So we took the dog, of course.
Nice.
And we just pretended we were rich people, and we like hung out in this fucking awesome hotel and ordered all this food in and just spent stupid money, and it was fun. Yeah. And
I like this plan.
Yeah, yada yada, as they say.
I wouldn't even know what yada yada means. I'm a child of the Lord.
The whole Seinfeld
You're not
about
supposed
yada
to
yada.
laugh immediately. Jesus.
Does yada yada mean sex?
I wouldn't
Yada
know.
yada means sex.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So I got to ask, Ron, while I'm just making up random subjects, how's the real estate hunt going?
Oh, so I have begun searching neighborhoods around kind of out east of where I live, because things get like progressively slightly cheaper as you go east.
Right.
So I've been looking at properties out east and kind of getting an idea of what stuff costs. And, and kind of every suburb you go, things drop like 50K.
Right.
So you're
nice.
like how much drive time, how far away can I, handle it being, is there going to be, those things.
But is that for you? I thought you were buying a rental, or are you thinking about renting this?
No. I'm looking at getting a property to use as an Airbnb or something like that.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah. Those are.
And then so like obviously certain areas are going to be more popular for Airbnbs, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Sure.
You're also looking at like, well, this is near a park, this is near a lake, this is near the highway, this whatever.
Yeah. Of course.
So so the research has begun with all of that. So it's interesting. Shit's expensive, man.
Yeah. Especially
Vancouver. Where you are. Yeah. I'm like, especially where, like, it's funny when I'm looking at all the, like, Chris and I were talking about real estate yesterday and just looking at prices. And then I literally was thinking to myself, as high as all these things are I'm looking at, it's not Vancouver. So we all good.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what's up with me, man. And what about you, Dusty?
Dude, I got more of the same right now. it's so chill and everything is pretty normal. I did just do the same thing though. Just got pre-approved for a chunk of change just because I want to buy something. I don't know what yet, but I was like, let's get some money here. I mean, obviously some sort of a dwelling unit, but there's just so much out there right now. I felt like you need to have your money in your hand when you walk in, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, so it's right now is not a time to be like, cool, let me see what I can do. Like they're like,
no,
sell it to the other seven
goes,
people.
Stuff goes in days, and there's like bidding wars here for stuff.
Oh yeah, same. And it's funny, but that's why I was laughing. Chris and I were talking yesterday, and I was thinking about getting like an Airbnb type thing in Scottsdale just because it's so popular. And 500 grand is is now the average house price there. Average. I'm like, so you have to have money to even get in the door. That's lovely. Like thinking back when I lived there and was a kid and I bought my first house for 155K.
Yeah.
Now to get that house would probably be, even where it was like 400.
Huh.
My first townhouse cost 135.
Yeah.
And it was 1,700 square feet with a full basement.
Oh wow,
and,
that's awesome.
And backyard, and it was an end unit. I only had one.
It was the perfect unit.
And I had 2 parking spots directly in front of my kitchen window, and it was just the fucking best. And I bought that. I loved living there. It was fucking awesome. And I paid 135K for that, and I sold it for 285.
Nice.
That's a win.
It was 10 years later, and now that place is probably worth 400.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
And that's in Edmonton.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what's wacky is it doesn't matter where things are. I had the same thing when I got approved for my first house. It was during the housing boom, and it was funny because they approved me for 260, and I'm like doing the math, and I'm like, I can't afford that. Like I'm doing the math on paper. I was like, well, if I never eat, and I don't have a car, and I don't drive anywhere, and I don't have air conditioning, all right, we could make this work. So I had to tell my agent, I was like, look, I did the math. I can afford like 160. So find me that house. I mean, blew your mind back then. And now it's tricky in the other direction because of the way I make my income. I have to have a minimum, even on some of these deals, of 20% down. So like, all right, let's bring 100 grand, and you're good to go. And I mean, wacky credit the whole thing, but the way that the money comes in, they don't like. They're like, oh, well, you never know. And I'm like, oh, because jobs are so secure these days. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been making the same money for 7 years, but you're right. I might stop.
Yeah. All the way through the pandemic. Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. So I need to get that rolling. That's my number one goal for me. Yeah.
Yes.
And
that's cool.
Are you
also hunting for an indoor spot to ride my bike. That's another goal.
Fuck. That's a great goal. You better get that hurrying up there, mister, because you're running low on time here.
Oh, it's raining like crazy.
Winter is now. What about you, Scott? Are you still in Canada?
Still in Canada. I'm leaving this week.
Are you wanting to maybe claim asylum and stay?
I don't know, man. I like a lot of things about Canada, but I
need this caffeine.
I do. Do you see this, Ron? Are you aware that in Canada you're being cheated?
Yes, I am, and that's why we stock the American version.
Do you really? So for anybody who's watching that doesn't know, it's advertised like this is a good thing. It says 180 milligrams of caffeine right on the can. Now we have, what is it? Is it 300 in the U.S. version?
Yeah.
Though I did get a good message from somebody who responded on Instagram, and he said, add a legal tab of ephedra to it.
Drop it in the top,
and you're good.
Up and you're
good.
in business.
Because you guys do have that.
Oh yes, we do.
Yes.
They're like 8 milligram tabs, right?
It's 3.
Yep.
Just 3.
Little
that's what was funny
50 pill bottles of 8 milligram tabs.
Huh. I should check that out.
Remember when I used to come up there? I used to buy the cases. Every time I'd come up, I'd buy a few cases of those and just take 3 before every workout.
Yeah, dude.
That'll do it.
I'm telling you, Ephedrine is like a kick-ass pre-workout.
It's the best.
It is.
I still use it.
I'm talked into it. I'm sold. I'm gonna go buy some today.
Oh, you have
I remember.
Put it in your eyes.
Oh yeah, it's hard. It's like when you go to Amsterdam. When you go to Amsterdam, you have to go to a hash bar. When you come to Canada, you have to go buy ephedrine.
Yeah.
It's one of our, it's one of our sort of drug,
You know what my
mascots is the
favorite
ephedrine.
drug you guys have is, though, and I didn't know about this until I came here. It's called butter tarts.
It's called what?
Butter tarts.
Butter tarts.
I never knew what a butter tart was. Dusty, you're looking at me funny. You don't know what a butter tart is.
I don't
either,
know what
do
a
you?
butter tart is. No.
Dude,
Really?
they're like crack,
They're
pretty
delicious.
much. Yeah.
What is it?
What is? How would you describe that?
Pull
and
it up on the screen, Scott.
Okay,
Jesus, let
okay.
me see this.
Dude,
Well, it's just a delicious
I could go in the
little
other room and
pastry.
grab one.
I'm like, listen, I need to see a pic. I'm a visual guy.
Let's see.
I don't
on,
even
Scott.
really.
Lights on.
You know what? I'm not even really sure. I think, well, if I describe it, I probably won't make it sound too delicious, but it's just a little pastry, like a tart. And it's full of, like, I think there's raisins in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
raisins.
And then, like, dates or something. But it's like, it's also got, like, it's obviously brown sugar or something. And it's just
Loaded with sugar and butter.
delicious.
These
Where do you buy this from?
everywhere?
No,
Everywhere.
your mom makes them
Oh, okay.
fresh out of the oven. And the house smells like heaven.
Mark? Okay. Ron just said your mom. I'm just leaving it at that. We're cutting off everything else in this sentence, and I'm just saying that Ron said your mom.
Your mom.
Yes, your mom. Edit.
As if my mother has made him whatever the fuck those are called. That's classic. All right. Well, now, you know what sucks about that is, Scott, I've come to see Ron how many times, and
You never had a
I
butter
showed
tart.
him my Starbucks tricks. I show him all of my little gems. He doesn't share, and he knows I'm fat. He knows I'd eat that shit.
Butter tarts
there's-
and what's the other? I always say the name wrong. I know it's a place that's on Vancouver Island.
Oh, Nanaimo bars.
Nanaimo. I said that. Did I say that right? Nanaimo.
Nanaimo bars. And they're
Nanaimo
amazing.
bars. Those things are even better. Like that.
Yeah.
These are the best in the world.
I don't even
you're
know
missing,
what that
Dusty.
yellow stuff is.
Pull it up.
All right.
Scott, you have a full-time job now of entertaining me with throwing shit up on the screen. I'm like, don't tell me, show me.
The thing about Nanaimo bars is my mom used to make them all the time, and they're so delicious that I never asked what was in them.
Huh.
It didn't.
You didn't need to
matter.
know.
No, didn't care.
There was,
Yeah,
there was
normally
a
I
lot
would
of love
ask.
in those, sir. That's all that
Yeah.
was.
That's what these
Nanaimo
look like.
bars.
Yeah, these things are
So
amazing.
it's like a brownie with this yellow custard icing and then chocolate, and they're just, for some reason, it's a flavor explosion.
yeah.
And there's a little bit of coconut in it, I think. A little bit
Yeah.
of coconut.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was coconut or oatmeal. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little. Yeah. Anyways,
That looks like a gem.
Great post
yeah, they're
workout.
good. They're great post workout. They're a very Christmas thing around my house. There would be like a tray of Nanaimo bars, fresh baked on Christmas Day, and I'd eat half the fucking tray.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
take a shot of insulin. And then fucking
Exactly.
It's all about body.
Go-
I like how people think
go
that
watch
there's
Die
a
Hard,
way to make
you know?
anything become about body. I'm like, well, if I take insulin, it becomes worth it.
Yeah.
It's now
Oh,
it's
yeah.
now anabolic.
Oh yeah, that was definitely me. At a big period of my 20s and 30s, I would have been like, fuck, I might as well do a shot of insulin.
Yeah. Why not? Don't let those carbs go to waste.
I love that. It's like, well, if we're gonna do this anyways,
It's not like I'm just gonna sit around. It's not like I'm not just sitting around eating for the entire night.
Just so you
it's
guys
actually
know-
taking stress off my body.
to visualize this, Ron was sitting at the chair and he's eating it, and he goes, "Wait a minute, I should take some insulin." So he opens up his fanny pack because it was on him in a cooling device. Immediately takes it out, tucked into his slightly oversized boat neck shirt. There you go.
That's pretty much the picture of the late 90s at Christmas.
I love it because I know exactly
accurate.
what I'm like. You know what's funny is the first guy I ever bought anything from. He worked with the same supplement store as me, and I was like, man, I think I'm ready and I want to try this. And he was like, well, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. What do you think I should get? And he just unzips his fanny pack. He's like, well, I would probably go with these. And I'm like, why do you have that on you?
That's
But
funny.
yes, I'll take 10 of them. Thank you. And that's
I
where the
think
Primo came into play.
the only drugs I ever carried in my fanny pack would have been ephedrine and D-ball.
I was gonna say D-ball is a good fanny pack drug.
Yeah, D-ball's a classic 90s fanny pack.
I'm getting shirts made. Fanny pack drug.
Yeah. You know those like memes where there's like 4 items and it says, are you this old? And it'll be like, a cassette tape and a Rubik's Cube. And it's like 4 items from the early 80s and it triggers all the people that are the correct age. Yeah. So for us, it's like a fanny pack, D-ball, bottle of insulin, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
got some baggy pants, good to go. Yes,
yeah, baggy pants, boat neck shirt. Yeah, that sort of stuff. So
well, I'm bringing the boat nets back, just so you know. I'm gonna start cutting my own with shirts just because I missed them and I have big traps. So fuck this, I'm doing it.
Yeah, do it.
I'm embracing the fact that I'm old and not cool, so I don't care anymore. I'm like, fuck it.
You know what I always wanted to do and never successfully did, because I think I ruined a few shirts trying it. But I remember Dorian had this shirt. It was a tank top,
tied,
but it was made out of a shirt, and it had knots tied like right on the collarbone.
Oh yeah,
and I know the one.
And the knots. Yeah, it was like a red Powerhouse Gym one. He wears it but I think he wears it in like a black and white photo shoot. But the knots like sit right on the collarbone. Like
I know
right
exactly.
on top.
I knew right when you said. I said the knots.
Yeah,
I knew
and
which
the
one
traps
it was.
just look fucking enormous. I was like, "Fuck! I never did a tank top like that. I should have done it." I tried it a couple times and just didn't get it right.
It's got to be perfect. I mean,
yeah, it has to be a huge shirt to begin with because you're hacking the shit out of it, and you need it to sit right.
Yeah, I've got Jordan. It's funny because he's doing the new drop, and so he sends me on purpose now leg day shirts. So he sends me 5Xs, which are enormous and they're long, like literally past the pocket in my pants. I'm like, there we go. Turner Riddle calls it poncho season. He's like, when it's time to get big, it's poncho season.
I used to wear super long. I had some super long shirts that almost went to my fucking knee on leg day.
Yeah.
They were like stupid huge. I used to wear those all the time when I was like super heavy, just looked like a giant wall.
Yeah, it's lovely.
The look is like, it's like when you have a sheet over a statue. It's just like draped over.
Yeah.
That's the look you're going for.
You're getting ready to unveil the statue in 6 months.
That's
all that is.
But, for now it's disgusting, so it's covered. Yeah.
But the traps still make it look like.
But the traps look awesome.
Yeah.
Someday this will not be disgusting. I just sent you guys the one of my ponchos. It's flawless. Even with my arm over my head, it's past my.
Oh yes, that's a proper.
Pockets. Look at the length of the arm, the sleeve.
Yeah,
sleeve past the elbow. I can wear elbow sleeves, and you don't see them.
It's past the bulk of the brachioradialis muscle,
which is important.
Yeah,
that's anabolic. That's anabolic right there.
It's white too, so you have to be. If you're me, you're gonna wear that once and then destroy it.
Well, the only guarantee if I'm wearing a white shirt is at some point I'm gonna need to be drinking a red drink or have red pasta sauce.
Right.
It's like it never fails. I've never eaten pasta in a black shirt in my entire life. It doesn't.
I don't buy white shirts. I just don't buy anything white.
I don't buy clothes, guys. They're given to me, remember?
Too much ketchup in my life.
And you have that one pair of pants.
There's too much ketchup in my life.
It's just too big of a risk, It's just too big of a risk. So even light gray, like I even feel like I'm sort of like exposed to the elements with the light gray shirt on. Like
this could go bad.
I'm starting to click in
moving through the world,
I'm starting to click in Ron-isms like Aceto-isms. Too much ketchup in my life, save. Exposed to the world, save.
Well, I'm just trying to share my feelings.
I'm going to have
with
a book
everyone.
one day called Aceto-isms, and I'll cut him in on 10% since he's the one that said them all.
Yeah. No, as long as
did you guys get some? Did you guys get some questions?
I did get some.
Nice.
I saw you put up a question thing.
Yes,
so that was good.
Yeah, the middle of the night, Harvey woke me up, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't done that yet. While I'm up, let me work. And then of course I was up for the rest of the night. So shit.
I want to prompt. I want to prompt people too, guys watching the YouTube. If you want to leave questions, we may be able to get to them. So we've had a few people once in a while randomly, but I'm gonna put it out there that next time if you guys have some questions that are commented in the feed, that we'll try to tackle.
I think we should prioritize feed comments. I think.
Okay.
Because that's for true viewers. So if you comment in the feed, I think we definitely. As long as it's not a shit question, but if you put a good question, we get to it. And
also,
I judge questions.
Yeah. I'm going to say your thing. I'm going to say your thing, Ron, is that like, share, subscribe, comment.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
There you
ring
go.
The bell.
Yeah.
I did that on another podcast yesterday. They said everything except for the ring the bell. I'm like,
You're kidding.
That must still be my thing. So I came over top and immediately rang the bell. I was like, they know that's the only thing I know how to do. This is great. I thought they left it out on purpose. I was like, I got you.
That's amazing.
Right. They're seeing if you're paying attention. Right?
Is he listening? He is. Well done, sir.
That's funny.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you start.
Okay, perfect. Easy. Oh, dude, some of the questions I've gotten this time are just terrible. I had a guy said, he goes, what's the best site to buy gear from? You can DM me if you'd like. I'm like, well, thank you for your permission to DM you on illegal drugs.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Nah, I'd rather just put it out right here so we can get to jail faster.
Yeah.
This is a good question. Who's the real giant killer of all time? Lee Priest, Columbo, Padilla, or Sean Clarita? That's a great question. That's a fucking great question.
Padilla was the original, right?
Yeah, Padilla was the original. Who did they actually beat? So Lee Priest beat Paul Dillett. I'm just trying to think, like, who's the biggest guy?
Marcus
giant.
Rule.
Lee Priest beat
Marcus
Marcus
Rule.
Rule.
Huh.
He beat Gunter.
Yep.
He beat Ronnie.
I was gonna say, if you go back far enough.
Right? Like, you got to look at who did they beat, because you got that image.
Is there anybody he didn't beat at some point? Like, I mean,
well, that's the thing.
He beat Cormier.
Dorian.
I don't think he ever beat. I don't think he ever beat Flex Wheeler or Dorian.
Lavroni.
Obviously.
Did he ever beat Lavrone? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think he ever did.
Maybe
that.
I don't think he did. Because when you think of the giant killer, I mean, you think of that biblical image of, like, the guy with the fucking slingshot fighting the giant fucking monster or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm like, who did they beat? That's what it means. It's not like, obviously Clarita is like the, he's like, he won the 212 Olympia, and that's fucking awesome. But
he never had to face the
giants,
the big
right.
Like,
I'm just thinking, like, literal size difference.
Yep.
Dave Henry called himself, I think, a giant killer, but he was
true too.
A smaller guy, smaller size, height,
right,
going against the open guys before he went to 202 or 210 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I think Lee Priest, like, Lee Priest is 5'4", isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's not quite as short as Clarita, but he beat, like, open. He placed in the top 6 at the Open Olympia back in the peak of the 90s and all that stuff, and beat all those guys. So I don't know, like, maybe I'm just forgetting someone getting beat, or I don't know.
I think it's a valid point. If you think of it that way, for sure. The only thing that I always loved about Lee is you never really knew which Lee was going to show up.
Like, if he gave a fuck or not.
Yeah, if he actually, like, remember the year that he did the Olympia? It was like he must have decided he didn't want to do it. He showed up with long hair and was like off season.
Yeah,
it was like because I think he even said, like, I signed a contract, so I had to do it. So I just finished. Like,
yeah,
and he was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he was so bad that he was better than I'll ever be. But nonetheless,
it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that you didn't know who was going to show up, because I said the exact same thing about Lee when he was podcasting with us. We had Jeff Roberts as friends with him, and so Jeff was like, "Hey, can I do a show with Lee on the network?" And I was like, "Sure." And I just sat in the back recording it, like I have with you guys. And sometimes Lee would get on, and he'd be like all about bodybuilding, and he'd want to jump right into it. And other times he'd be like, so I'm looking at the news today, and it appears that there's 30 more COVID cases here. And it's like, you never knew. It could be anything. You never knew what you were going to get with him.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. You know, I don't know Lee. He was a guest poser at my very first show.
No kidding.
97. Yeah, 97.
That'd have been a crazy year.
He looked nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember in his hoodie, he just looked like fucking so small.
No kidding.
He took his hoodie. Yeah, and he looked thick, but just tiny, you know. And then when he took his hoodie off, he had a Superman t-shirt on because he was like really like doing the Superman thing at the time.
Yeah.
And the arms, oh man. And you know, like I was only 21, so I was like, holy fuck. They were just mental. And I remember thinking that I could not believe the difference between the size of his wrist and the size of his forearm. I remember thinking that was like one of the craziest things about his entire body in person.
Right.
So, you know.
It's true. That's very true. I think he has, if you think about an overall arm, top 5 arms of all time.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, no question.
It'd be crazy not to put him in there.
You know, especially because, like you said, if you're talking about a full arm, that's wrist to shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, it's everything.
So the question isn't who's the best bodybuilder of those guys. It's who's the giant killer, you know?
I think you might be, I like your mindset. I think you're right on the answer then too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there another way to look at it?
Not now that you've done that, you've ruined me.
It's the only way I can see it too.
I can only see it one way now. You've completely altered my mindset.
Okay.
I
So
got another one. I'm hitting you with more. It's not
oh yeah,
turn.
no,
Skipping your
that's
turn.
fine with me. That's fine with me.
Who would you guys like to work out with and you haven't yet? It doesn't even specify bodybuilding, so I mean, it could be anything.
Right. Huh.
I'd say Dusty, but I can't do those rows. It's not happening.
Hey,
You can do
Ron
chest
said he-
supported.
Ron
You
said he
just do
couldn't
it.
do those shit rows either, and then he blasted out 2 styles back to back.
Nice.
I was
That'd be
at
shit. I
Dino's though.
remember-
That's unfair. I was at Dino's. That you have to.
That was so
factor
classic
into
though.
Dino's.
Ron goes, I've never done these rows. I'm like, well, you're gonna like them. And the next thing you know, he's rowing like 365 or something like that. I was like, you seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah, I did all right. Sometimes I can just pull it together if there's someone filming, right?
There was someone filming and 100 people watching, so you really had no choice.
Yeah.
Yes. Geez. I don't know. I'm thinking, who would I like to train with that I haven't trained with?
You've trained with a lot of people too.
Yeah, I've trained with a lot of people. In fact, like sometimes I forget that I've trained with certain people.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking worked out with that guy.
Yeah.
It's like funny.
I trained with Dorian. I mean, that's
that's funny.
That's a story for the ages. So I'm kind of set in that department. All right, Ron, come on, we got to come up with someone. It's big.
I'd like to have a workout with Lila Brada.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's
Good
a good one. He
choice.
was the first pro I ever saw, first pro I ever met, and it would be like coming full circle.
That'd be
like
cool.
this.
Yeah, I remember watching him do preacher curls. I remember him doing preacher curls with a 65-pound barbell.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when he grabbed it off the rack, I was like, 65?
Yeah.
And then he did like a set. Like he had already been training, but I just showed up. And then he did like a set, and then he took his sweatshirt off and he had a tank top on. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And he grabbed a 65 again and did another set. And I was like just completely, brain was just fried. He was 6 weeks out from the Olympia when he came to guest pose. I remember that.
Oh, shit.
Back when they used to work for their money. They didn't have
Different
social
work.
media and had to travel all the way through prep to make money. They had to guest pose all the way up to 6 weeks out.
Well, that's probably some of your best time to make money. You're in shape. They know they're going to see a great version for you, especially if you're a smaller guy. Like, I think when you're a monster, you could show up heavy and you're still 320 pounds. Like, that's a
Plus,
big fucking dude.
it was the way things used to work. The shows were scheduled differently, and it was like they were scheduled in like clusters. So the guys would be like getting ready for the early shows, and there'd be all these shows in the spring. So
Oh
if you're going
yeah.
to guest pose, those are the only shows that are going on. And then there's none in the summer. There used to be no shows in the summer, you
Right.
know, and then another cluster in the fall, and that's when everyone's getting ready for the O.
And then right after the O,
So
yeah, makes sense.
yeah, so they'd like guest pose like right around the big shows, which was like crazy because people don't want to do that, right? And no one wanted to do it, but they used to do a lot more of it.
Yeah. There's a
You
few things
know,
with the scheduling that I missed, though. I also miss at the pro level the European tour after the Olympia. I used to love knowing that
Oh yeah.
these guys have 4 more shows to do after the Olympia,
fucking
and they would all
sometimes
just
wasn't
travel.
wasn't there a period where they were doing like 10 shows in 3 weeks?
I
And they would
know.
just do they would just do a one show format. So the show would start at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday night, and it
Yep.
would be in like Prague, and they'd start at 7 p.m. and they judge a show. They'd be done by 9. You know, there's only 10 guys, right?
Yeah.
And then they'd all get on the bus and go to the hotel and sleep. Next day, get on the bus and drive all the way to fucking the next country and check into their hotel and go have a quick workout and then go to the show that night
I know
and
that
like compete. Yeah, it was fucked up.
when after Sean was like top three, he, Chris, and Eduardo did like 6 weeks on the road after the Olympia. They all went.
Yeah.
And he told me that by the end of it, plus these guys are dieting and they're peeled. He's like, I remember almost having to like push Eduardo through the airport.
Oh my
Like just
god.
he was done, just surviving. It was like he goes, it was like pushing him through a set. Like, dude, we got like 100 more yards and we're gonna be at the gate, so you just gotta keep going. Like, I mean, 6 weeks on the road post Olympia, you've been peeled for 10. You know, and then everything. Another thing, people I remember they used to complain like, oh, the guys like start to lose their conditioning. I'm like, well, they didn't bring 6 weeks worth of food with them. They're
Yeah.
eating
Well,
out. Like,
plus
they're
black
doing the best they
back,
can
back in
with
the
what they can
80s and
get.
yeah, the late 80s and early 90s when the Grand Prix was big and they were doing like all those shows.
Hmm.
I mean, that's one of the reasons they stopped doing it is because Momo died, right?
Mm.
Momo
Yeah,
Benaziza died, and that was one of the reasons why they started like reeling back on that tour and having less dates. But the thing with those things is I mean, there was no meal prep companies. There was no, you couldn't walk into restaurants as easily and order like have a grilled chicken breast and some steamed rice. People
yeah, with
go,
nothing on
no.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, it was different, right? Plus, they're like in Europe, which is another probably at the time 10 years behind whatever is
yeah.
available in California. You know, like remember the decade where you could get like sugar free stuff in the States and it wasn't really anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
There was
know,
stuff like that even on normal shit. I remember when I got credited for getting Pop Tarts popular when I was first working with Chris. And guys that owned like shops over there were like, "How do you get these flavors of Pop Tarts?" I'm like, "Grocery store."
yeah, yeah, yeah. They just don't have them.
They don't like send them to my house or anything. I just go to the store. There's 9,000 flavors. I don't know. That's classic. So, well,
Okay.
my answer quickly is Sean Clarita because he's a freak, and I would just love to train with him. I love his mindset in the gym. So we'll make that happen one of these days. Now that things are back to normal.
That'd be cool to see too, because he's strong. You guys would get
Oh,
on
he's
well.
freak
I
strong.
bet. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
great.
I don't
See,
like when you start doing like comparisons of strength to weight because then I have to admit that like Corinne is stronger than me by
Yeah.
a million miles and and Sean Clarita
yeah,
is stronger than me by a million miles.
yeah, 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 for sure. See, the funny thing is, Dusty, I think that would pick someone else if it was 10 years ago because I'd want to go like, see if I can keep up. Whereas
Right.
now I'm like, no, I don't, I train with Clarita, but I'm not
Hmm.
going to like beg him to like keep up, can you slow down? Can we take 10 plates
Right.
off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's recall for those who don't know, after Ron tore his quad, the first real leg workout he had, he just opted to jump on a quick leg day with, no one's strong, just James Hollingshead. No biggie.
Okay.
Like, I remember when you were like, we trained legs, and I'm like, you did what?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
And he blasted
So
it.
good.
I mean, I've seen the video. It was great, but I'm thinking, talk about a way to crush the demons that are in your head as far as what you can do. Because Ron's not going to be like you said, he's not going to be like, well, we should take a bunch of plates off. He's like, all right, well, guess we're about to fuck around and find out, huh?
It was a pivotal moment.
It's funny
Yes,
though, because
no.
I do deal with that with clients all the time. If they're coming off an injury or something, they're like, or Q&A even, how do you get over that? I'm like, you do it and you find
Yeah,
out.
you just have to do it. Stop thinking. Yeah.
No one's gonna pretend that you're sure it's gonna go well. You just fucking go, well, here we go. I wouldn't recommend doing it in foreign countries like Ron did, but each their own.
No. I know. What about you, Scott?
Al, I don't want to bring everybody down. I would have said John because I have looked up to the mountain dog training for so long.
Yeah.
And I had chances, is the thing. Like, I had chances to train with him, but he's one of those people where, like, I looked up to him so much that I was like, oh, no. You know, I felt like, I don't know. I just felt like no, you do your thing. You've got other people that are more important than me to train with, so I'll just stay out of the way and maybe like watch you do a couple sets, you know. So I can't say I regret it, but I kind of do now. I would like to train with James.
Yeah.
We used to, before he was who he is now, he had the Size Game podcast with Banji to Manji.
I was on their show.
You were on there, okay? And Luke, and those guys were like, to me, they were like the UK version of Bodybuilding Nerds Radio. They were like our brother channel type thing. And there were times when I recorded with James that just the feeling I got from him, like I knew that we'd vibe really good. And I couldn't keep up with him, weight wise, but I would still love to get in the gym with him. That would be fun. And I have had a chance to train with Ron now, but Dusty, I'd love to train with you if we ever got the chance, man. That would be cool. I'll set up a smaller bar.
That's an easy to make happen situation.
I'll set up another bar next to you, so you don't have to peel the weights back on the barbell row. But
I was saying that the other day when I was doing deads. I said, hey, I want to factor in the fact because the gym was full. So Nikki was doing her deadlifts. I'm like, I got to take these weights on and off. So I want to factor that into the fact if I'm weaker today.
Yeah.
I went from 405 to 275 twice now and 495 to 275. I got to count for something.
Right.
They don't have a jack at this gym, by the way, which is the greatest invention ever if you like deadlifting. I love just quick, easy. I'm using 5-pound plates underneath the edge and lifting it up to nightmare.
I will tell you guys that Ron, when we trained shoulders, I realized that because shoulders used to be something that I really focused on a lot because they were really good. And so I focused on them because I liked training them, because they were good, because they were strong. And over the years, I stopped focusing on them as much. When we trained shoulders, I realized that I needed to put more focus in them. And dude, my shoulders were smoked after that workout. Like, we didn't go super crazy with it, but they were smoked after that workout.
Yeah, it's just quality sets.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It was a good workout. I think I was even like kind of like sore. Like I
was sore
at my best, but know what I mean? Like, I think something was wrong with me going into the workout. Like, I was being like slightly careful.
Not sore, I was broken.
Yeah, I was like, I think I had a niggle, like I had like my shoulder was like geek or something like that, So it turned out well, but I know how to train kind of like always kind of hurt.
Yeah.
So
well, you did it for a decade, so that makes sense.
It's a skill. All
right, let's get to another important question here. Best spot to meet women these days? I love these questions. They're my favorite.
Oh, well, I mean, I only go two places. The gym and Safeway. So
there's one more place that you've left out, our date place. Hello.
Oh, yes. Earl's, of course. Um, I don't know. Hasn't online just sort of taken over?
I
Is
don't
there
even know the answer.
anywhere else?
That's why I brought it up,
Like, I
because
don't
I just
know.
know bad decisions follow me. So I've never really like
I
looked
imagine a
for it.
lot. I imagine online, the accessibility and the options that it gives you can be a source of a lot of bad decisions.
Easy.
But you can't discount that there's probably, just sheer numbers. There's probably some really, great matchups occurring as well.
Oh, it's a volume game, but I mean, it's like that saying,
So
I
there's
mean,
a volume
I'm a,
game.
listen, I'm a Taurus, so just like any bull, I like to run headfirst into red flags. But I
Right.
just, yeah, I read the question and I thought the same thing. Like to me, I was like, well, I only go to like 3 places, and that's been that way for my entire. I'd need to bump into someone like in the hallway leaving my condo. That was like the only way it was going to happen in real life.
Right.
Because at
Is
the
she like
gym,
literally
I don't even
moved in
see
next
people.
door?
It's funny, but like, so yesterday, a friend of ours went on a hike with a girl from the gym, and Nikki's like, "Oh, that girl from the gym," and I'm like, "Which one?" She shows me a picture. I'm like, "I've never seen her before." She's like, "She's there every day when we're there," and the girl has like a great body, and I'm like,
That was the right answer. That was the right
"Never."
answer.
Yeah. Well, I'm not against it all. Just pointing out, just a chick will walk in, I'm like, "She's hot." But yeah, in the gym, I'm completely blind. I'm like in my own little land. I was like, "Oh." So today I saw her. I was like, "Oh, there she is. Son of a bitch. You're right." Yeah, I don't know. I do not know where to meet women, sir, other than the internet. So maybe message them instead of me. Okay.
Yeah. Or you could go to like, some crazy underground sex party. That might be a good place.
That's a great place.
I don't know. It's probably some there.
Never heard of it, but
True Nutrition has supported our programming now for a number of years, and I'm super grateful for it because they believe in us and I believe in them. I'm sure you guys have heard of Dante Trudell. We talk about him on the shows. He had a vision of offering high-quality, third-party tested supplements at a fair price. They have a ton of different protein powders, just about every type you could think of, literally thousands of flavor combinations. Hit me up if you're interested in suggestions. They offer health supplements. I use their collagen and their fish oil. And of course, they offer performance supplements. You can get bulk EAA powder or beta-alanine. You can also get finished products like the Mountain Dog Perry MD Intra Workout. If you shop with True Nutrition and you use our code THINK, you'll get some additional savings, you'll get high quality supplements, and you will support our programming. You can also help to support the shows through Patreon. I appreciate everybody who's made a contribution. You guys are helping to keep me pumping these podcasts out. I have links to everything in the description. Check them out. Let me know what you think, and let's get back to the program.
there we go. Do you have anything loaded, or do you want more? I got
one.
Good question.
I got one of these. I got one of these hypotheticals. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, Dusty.
We never know if the whole show's going
Okay.
anywhere. So go ahead.
Okay. You have to go to the Olympic Games, summer and winter. So you have to pick both. As an undercover informant, as an athlete, but you have to pick an event that you think you could do well enough in, at least for a couple days, that your cover wouldn't be blown right away. Weightlifting excluded.
Ooh, this is fantastic.
Like you have to at least go to like all the practices and like warm, they're all like, feeling out the equipment for a few days, and everyone's like acclimating for a week. You have to be able to fit in for at least that first week.
Winter games, and I'm curling.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Because we used to do that at the gym, because you get the long. So we're gonna throw a pet peeve right in this mix. I do not understand why someone needs to grab the 20s that are on the far right side of the rack and then walk to the far left incline to use them, that are right in front of the 200s that I want to use.
Right.
So we used to pull them off, and I would roll it with my foot, but it was like curling, because the idea was I wanted to get it perfect. I didn't want Matt to have to slow it down. No, and sometimes I'd push it too hard, and I'm like, brush.
Sweep. Sweep. Oh yeah, we used to
Yeah,
yell that
so
rolling the big dumbbells down
see, so that's a
the
thing.
rack.
I'm
Oh
partially
yeah.
Canadian now. So
No, there's
yes,
some
that would.
pride you take in the perfect placement of a rolled dumbbell.
Oh yeah,
You
I've
know,
done that before. It'll get there and I'll look. I'm like, did everybody see
and
that?
then just like curling, the art is you want the first dumbbell to stop in the center of the bench, and then the second dumbbell will
Bumps
hit
it.
it and move it over slightly, and now they're
Oh,
both placed. Yeah,
just
it's like
lined
you
right
have
up.
to, just like curling.
It's got to be perfect. It does. So okay, so I'm curling in the winter games.
That was a good one.
Summer games is fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I've had a bad experience doing gymnastics with Ron, so we're not doing that. Ron's like,
No,
did you just go there?
you did.
Oh shit, he did. He did go there. Oh man. Dude, I can't even dude, I'm so unathletic. This is a frightening question. I'm
I'm
trying to think of
like,
the least like I would like to pretend that I could like throw the big
Discus.
throwing discus thing,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna dislocate a shoulder or fall over because
oh
they're spinning
yeah.
in circles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think
The
I'd have
shot
to do that
put.
one drunk to have a chance on the shot put.
So here's what was in
What do
the
you guys got?
Tokyo. I'm looking. Fuck.
Okay, good. We got choices. I needed choices. I appreciate that. Yeah. Is there a roller derby option?
I'm looking for something that you ride or drive.
That's a good call. Yeah. Like the bobsled team. You just sit there, right? You just hold the fuck on.
That's my winter. That's my winter pick. Is like one of the middle guys in the bobsled because I don't
Because you
know
don't
if
want to
you're
run
the
either.
back guy. If you're the back guy, you got to be the most powerful. And you're the last one in, right? You don't want to be that.
Yeah.
That requires a lot of ability. The front guy's got to actually steer. He's got to know what he's doing. I think the middle two, they might be able to get away with being high.
Oh, that's so classic.
Right? You know, did they get drug tested? Does no one really care?
Ron,
Is
that
it like
reminds-
is it like when you drug test the punter? It's like, oh yeah, but you're the middle guy.
that reminds me of with the Olympics this summer when the U.S. took like third in skateboarding. One of the other pros commented like, "Well, that's what happens when you drug test skateboarding." like, best guy can't go.
Right. So I see, you know what? Shooting. I'm not a bad shot.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's
I'm not a
definitely what
bad
Scott's
shot.
doing.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
picking that up for sure. I didn't even
I
know that
have
was a
gun,
thing.
You know, that sort of thing. Shooting. Yeah, I'm sure there's a shooting event I could bluff my way through on day one, you know?
Have
Practice rounds.
have you been doing your research, thinking about have you tried anything out? Speaking of,
No,
not
I
yet?
haven't. I just
All
been
right.
so busy. I just been so busy flat out. I
You
think
need to stop worrying about things that matter, Ron, and start thinking about things that are fun.
yes, yeah, I know. So there you go. Shooting would be
It's a good
one.
choice. All right, good.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, that was a good question. Do you think of any more?
I'm so bad. I think it would be best option as well. I like where your head was at. Like, how can I disappear in the midst of things? Because
I feel like
summer is very athletic for me. There's just not a shot in hell.
Because I figure how it is most sports. There's a technical skill, and then there's like balls, right?
Right.
So if you're going to bluff your way through something, you won't be able to pick something that has really high technical skill.
Yeah. But
You
I'm
know,
arrogant
and
as fuck, so I could
for
probably
most
balls
part,
my
you
way through
can't.
a lot of stuff.
But you might be able to balls your way through a few days. You know what I mean?
and I don't know how that bobsled thing works, but Ron's a bigger dude, and I feel like if you've got gravity, if that's part of you might do really good. You know, get the big guy in the bobsled and just boom down the hill.
Usually, the biggest guy is the guy at the last guy to push, like the last guy who's in. So, but yeah, well, that's not what they normally do, I think. But
Yeah, but you would tell me you had to be a middle because you had pulled a hamstring. So
yeah,
that's
I'd say,
why.
yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. Nearing the end of my career.
Yeah.
I've been using that for a decade now. I'd be better, but I'm nearing the end of my career.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, do you have a YouTube question, Scott?
You know what? I didn't gather any up that were
Fucking, he's
good.
up there in Canada, and he's not.
That were good.
Looking
But
at
you know what I think I do have here is, if I can find it, I think I actually had a shout out to one of the people who listens to our show that you guys know. Let me see. Where'd that go? Oh, actually,
Love you, Mom. Oh, not her.
No, someone else. Someone else. Martina Yabekova. She looked freaking awesome this past week at the Kentucky Pro. Got third place and came in absolutely freaking peeled. I really like her shape.
I've always loved her. She knows that.
She's been to my gym many times.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, because she's right by you, right?
Yeah. She's really cool. She's an incredible athlete.
Yeah, she is. She's a listener of our programs, too.
Mm. Oh, okay, cool.
Wacky,
it's funny. It's funny
wacky.
when I hear who listens. Yeah, no, she's fantastic. She's done how many O's now? Hasn't she done
A bunch?
at least?
Three or four.
She didn't do this year. I think that she had it might have been a knee injury that she was kind of coming back from. So I guess she didn't qualify this year, but she had, I think it was like 5 consecutive.
Yeah, damn.
Well, plus she slayed the dragon this year because she had a stint where she had 1 or 2 shows that she didn't come in as good as usual. Okay. I can't remember what the holdup was. I mean, shit, life happens kind of thing. But then she's had the last couple that were just like, that might be as good as I've ever seen her. It's like, I love seeing that. You know, I find it always more impressive when people, and we've all been there, but it's hard to come back after a miss, especially if you've missed. I missed 2 in a row, and it's like you start questioning if it's still there. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, she looks bananas here. Like, yeah, awesome look. Okay, I got another one for us then.
Okay,
got about 18,000 saved up. What should I invest in? I just have my money sitting there to help me out. Or I'm just have that money sitting there, help me out. There we go. There was no punctuation. I read it as written.
Well, hey, first of all, where does he live? Because, you know, if he's in because, you know, I'm just thinking
I might be able to get this answer.
$18,000 in Vancouver doesn't go very far, but $18,000 in, you know, like a smaller city and certain states might go a lot farther.
You could buy like 5 houses in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. Buy like 5 houses in Detroit, right? Hey,
you know what's funny is I usually would say with 18,000, is there something that you're passionate about, like, I mean, shit, I don't know, woodworking or something that you can turn into more money? Smaller amounts of money, I like to bet on myself. What can you do? Like back in the day, it's crazy how the world has started. But for example, the supplement company that I bought, the store, I should say, not the supplement company, the supplement stores I bought, I paid $500,000 for, and the guy who started them started the business on a $5,000 bonus. At the time, now granted it's not this world, but back then he got a $5,000 bonus and he ordered a bunch of supplements and went to the flea market and started selling supplements at a table.
No kidding.
And then next thing you know, he got enough. Then when he sold them, he bought more, and then he literally rented half of a spot that someone already had, like a painter had in a shopping center. They literally had a sheet between each side, and he did supplements out of there. And then he got his first store by himself. So it's like, obviously you can't do that exact model anymore, but it does show people. I think a lot of people think, well, to get started, I need $1 billion. And it's like, no, if you have an idea, sometimes that 18 grand or that 5 grand is enough to get it going, you know? So I'm a pretty big proponent of going in on something that you're really passionate about, because people don't realize that if you're really obsessed with, I don't know, something that doesn't exist anymore, like Pokemon cards, there are other people that are really obsessed with them, and there's probably a way to make some money. So that's how I look at like smaller amounts of money, because, you know, depending on where you're at, 18 grand won't even get you enough money to get a loan if you have great credit, you know, depending.
Right.
So
right. I like what you said about with smaller amounts of money, you like to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you do the work, you can turn it into a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. I would probably recommend the same thing. Pick something you love and invest that money into what you really, really love doing, because I think that's one of the only ways you can give yourself a chance of doing what you love for a living. If you don't, at least invest money in what you love, then you'll never get a chance to do it for any sort of income. Like with Scott, like you went and bought all that computer shit.
Yeah.
Like you accumulated it, and you were buying computer stuff before it was making any money.
Oh, dude, it's still
Right?
not making any money. What are you talking about?
Right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Though, like, you were just buying it. You're like, I love to do this. I'm just going to go for it. And I need a better computer, and I need a better microphone, and let's get some editing whatever.
Absolutely.
And you have to, and then you can turn it into something, So yeah, that would be the thing. That would be what I would suggest too. Yeah.
Well, plus you want to look at too, something I think that people should think of, and actually Scott, with what you're doing is a prime example, and I did it in the past a long time ago as well, is I think a lot of people assume that they should be chasing money. And I have found in my own experience, and Scott, I'm sure even with you, like with what you're doing with the podcast, you could go do something else with your time and make more money.
Sure.
But you wouldn't be happier. You'd be less happy making more money. And so I think that that's something that you can't really replace. Maybe you're making 80 grand a year at a job, and you get this 18 grand and you invest in whatever the fuck it is you're interested in, and you find yourself making 60, and you can quit your job because it's enough and be happy. Like, I really do think a lot of people think they're money motivated, and they're not. Like, when you really get down to it, everyone thinks they are, but I can promise you, as someone who's been there a long, long time ago, I made a lot of money at a very young age doing something I hated, and quit to go be broke doing something I loved. So, it's definitely something to think about, because I know oftentimes when we look at money, it's always about, well, how do we make it into more money? And sometimes it should be about, well, how do I make it into more quality of life?
Like that.
Good one. My turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This guy had two questions. One's a technical bodybuilding question, and one's pretty funny, actually. I know we've touched on it before, but I can't remember. What's the most unusual, awkward, or strange interaction you've had with a fan at an expo or meet and greet?
Well, I have an easy one on top of my head. Do you want me to go now?
I want to hear this.
I'm like, I got one right now.
And also, I'm sorry.
A lot of, yeah. Start with that. A lot of you young guys don't know about this, but so the first USAs I ever did, I got there early. Shocking, it's me. For weigh-ins, and we're all kind of like sitting there, and this creeper guy kind of wanders his way over, and he's like just kind of talking to, you could see he's going to guys who've never been there before. He's like, "Hey man, you look good. You look good. Right, can I see your tricep?" And the kid, not knowing, he's hitting his tricep, and he's like, "Man, it's impressive." And then, how are the legs? The guy's like, "They're good. Can I see him?" He's like, "Sure." And he stands up to like start to take his pants down. And I'm like, "Oh, do you know what's happening right now?
You said this.
Do you understand what's happening?" The kid's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "He is a schmo, and he wants you to take your pants off for him in the middle of this fucking hotel." And the guy like looked at me, panicked, because he knew. And this kid was like, "Oh my god!" He's just like, probably some small town USA. He just thinks it's a bodybuilding guy that wants to see. I was like, oh, I felt like I saved this kid's life. I was like,
welcome to the
you
national
don't even
level.
know what's about to happen. I'm like, welcome to this level of the game, sir.
All right.
I love them. They pay my bills. There's nothing wrong with them, but at least know what you're getting into. This is
That's
your
funny.
first step into gay for pay.
Right. This will be the moment.
Yeah. The next step, things get creepy. Anyways.
Oh, that's funny. I don't remember hearing that story, Dusty.
I don't know that I've ever broke it out before. There's so many little ones that come into mind that like we all know.
Yeah,
Like I've
that was
never
good.
understood, Scott. I don't know how many times at expos you've noticed, but I know Ron knows. Why are some people's hands so wet when they shake your hand? I'm like, why did you hand me a soggy hand? What is going on in your life? Like,
Yeah.
it's frightening.
I figured you
guess
guys
they-
would just do the bump, the fist bump.
Well, I mean, hey, COVID changed things. Maybe
Yeah.
it's fist bump world now, you know? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm fine with not going back to shaking 1,000 hands a day. I don't mind shaking hands with people at all. Like, you know, like
Yeah, but it's the
interacting
sheer
with
numbers.
people.
Remember how much freaking
Like
the
Dusty
cleanser
said,
we used to
it's a
go
volume
through?
game. Yeah.
We
hey,
used to have our own. All of us had our own liquid
Yeah.
cleansers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have a little
When
bottle.
soggy
of,
hand would hit you,
know,
you would immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people fucking stink.
Oh God, yes.
And it blows my mind that they don't know that they like. It's just weird. Like sometimes someone will come up and I'm just like, can't even believe that they don't realize how bad they smell. And it's just once in a while. I mean, but if you do 1,000 people, you're bound to have like a couple people that are just oblivious. So that's always really weird. I find that stuff more awkward because they're nice and you're
Yeah.
trying to be nice, but they just, I don't know. I don't know what to say to people like, fuck dude, you fucking stink. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I'm sure some people would, but I just couldn't do that to like, you know, sometimes either like,
You
know,
only
they're
do
nice
that to a
people.
true friend. A true friend.
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
them,
you gotta
"Bro,
be a
you
friend of
smell."
mine. Like we gotta
And
be
you're like, and they're
familiar.
like, thank you.
know?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, I would consider
So,
it
yeah,
a solid
there's-
if you told me I stunk. But
Yeah, that stuff happens sometimes, and it's almost more awkward than like a weirdo who says weird shit because that immediately like, you know, I don't know. I find that less awkward to deal with.
So you've
You can,
had
like-
people say weird shit to you, Ron. That
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Because see,
yeah,
most of
just
us, like we, like me included, you know, we don't know the other. We're on the other side of the table. We're on the other side of the booth. So we're just like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Ron, there's Dusty. That was so cool. We got a picture with them. We move on with our day. So what do you mean weird shit? Like, what are you hearing?
Well, so like what Dusty was saying, one of the more common ones is like, hey, how big are your arms? And like they want you to give them a number.
oh,
yep.
And you're like, I don't know. And they're like, no, but like, when's the last time you measured them? And I'm like, oh, it's been a while. So like, what did they measure? Like, it's like they need to hear a number,
yeah.
and it's almost funny not giving them a number
Yeah.
because it's funny because they can't not get. It's interesting to see. They need
Yeah.
a number. It's fucking funny. So that happens like once in a while. Like, well, what was the biggest your legs ever measured? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. And they're just like, no, but you must have put a tape measure around them. Like,
They're like real
I've
serious.
had that. Yeah. And it's like, dude, I don't have any answers for you for any of these questions.
Yeah.
You know?
There's those or the ones that hang around and there's nothing left to say and there's a line of people behind them and you're like, how do I make you know that it's time to? We've had a few like, and they're good fans, like don't get me wrong, but they just stay and you're like, so usually once you get more experience, when I first started, I was terrible. I didn't know that it was my job to go to the next one.
Yeah.
So I was like waiting for them to realize, you know, and you're like, oh shit. And when you get more experience, you go, well, I gotta, you know, get to the next people here, and you can kind of shovel it along yourself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you're new to it, and like Ron said, you don't want to be an asshole because you know they're fans, they're good people, but you're like, how do you not have the social awareness to know this is done?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, I've signed a shirt for every person in your family and your neighbor and the dog, and we've talked about them all, and we gotta carry along now.
Have you guys
Right,
ever
right.
had people get like really nervous to meet you?
Yeah. So that's always, I always like was just sort of like, oh, like, because I always felt like I was, you know, like lucky to be at an expo booth. You know, I always
Yeah.
felt fortunate that a company wanted me at their booth. You know, I never ever was in a position like, you know, I was never like a 6-figure guy. Like, hey, who's gonna fucking suck my dick at the booth? You know, because like, You know,
Oh,
just
behind the
joking,
booth.
but
Oh,
yeah, behind the booth. No, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I always felt like, man, I really, got to appreciate that I get to do this, So, I always found it like, oh, if I ever had a fan that was like that, I'd always think like, I wonder why they're this excited to meet me.
right.
Like, but that's just the reality of like, if you're putting out content, there's going to be somebody that your content for some reason really connects with more than someone else's content. And in my head, everything I ever put out, back when I was, competing and stuff, every little clip and all that I ever did or video I ever did, I always thought like, I hope someone likes this. I hope there's value here for somebody. And then every once in a while you meet that person. It's not just the other 50,000 that clicked on it and watched it, or the other 10,000 that really liked it, or the 5,000 that gave you a thumbs up. It's like the one person that like really loves what you did. And once in a while you meet that person and it blows you away that they're that much of a fan of anything that you did.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
what I feel. But you're just like, oh wow, like it's really interesting, because I'm thinking like I'm looking up to so many other bodybuilders that I think are incredible. So you're like, that sort of thing. But hey, it's like that with everything. So like, some of those like low budget sci-fi movies from the 70s have like huge, crazy fan bases.
Yeah.
Right? They're not good movies.
And that's us as bodybuilders. So we're saying,
And that's me at the booth.
I could be that shitty movie.
I'm an F-list YouTube celebrity.
It's funny you said that though, Ron, because I don't know if you saw, but Rob Bailey did a Q&A yesterday, and somebody said, how would your life change if you weren't a celebrity? And Rob literally took a picture, like looking confused, and he's like, I'm not a celebrity. Like, he was like, I don't what? And knowing him, I know that he's like, no, I'm just a guy.
Right.
It's cool to see though that different perspective, just because it is interesting, because I don't feel that way with anyone. There's plenty of people I'd like to meet, but like if somebody said, you get to meet like Joe Rogan, I think he's just a very interesting person, but I'd be like, hey, you want to grab a steak? And we'd wrap and I'd walk away and that's it. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, and one thing I'm aware of, and I also make sure that I try to do it, is if I ever do meet anyone, super famous or whatever, which I've met a few people, I always make sure I always take a second. I'm like, okay, just act normal, because that's, like just remember that that's what they all want people to do. Right. Right. Like they appreciate it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what I've done is, because I recognize that and I appreciate that, but at the same time, when I meet somebody that I'm a really big fan of, I'm totally okay with telling them like, oh my God, I'm a big fan of yours. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? And like freaking out a little bit. Like when we interviewed, when you guys interviewed DLB, I before we started that, I took like a minute. I was like, hey, I got to tell you, just to let you know, I'm a big fan of yours,
Yeah. I guess I mean how you do it. I've met a few people that I was like, oh fuck, I get to meet this person. And I always try to take a second, like, hey, I just want to let you know your third album was the album that like did it for me.
Because it's like important. It changed your life, or something, right? Yeah.
And then I'll say, and the best track is blah, blah, blah. And they laugh and go, oh fuck, really? You like that one? And I'm like, yeah. and then normal.
Yeah.
And then on, and then it's like you've got a little, you get to have a little moment talking to that person that, but you're not the guy that's like, how big are your arms?
Yeah.
Show me the legs. God, no.
Show me the legs. Yeah. Just imagine the funny image of just walking up to any other person. How are the legs? In any other scenario, it's 2 legs.
You know what's weird though, and on the flip, is it's fascinating to me when you think of it that way, is like there's been many times where I'd be out, like in one time where I remember we were in Vegas and I was just on vacation, and I'm on the elevator and with my wife, and we're sitting there, and a lady gets on the elevator and goes, "Oh," and just grabbed my arm, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what the fuck just happened? Like, because for whatever reason you're allowed to. I'm thinking, well, you got a nice rack. Boom. I mean, I don't know. Like, can we both, or is this a one-way thing? How does it work?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get the
funny when people
rules
do that.
for future, you know? Because sometimes I've gotten on an elevator and been like, wow, I'd like to. No, you can't, Dusty. You can't.
Yeah, that's funny. I know what you mean. Someone will like do something that just shocks you sometimes. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I've had my chest grabbed, just boom, and I'm like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that you didn't even think that was weird, huh? Oh, I'm fine with it, but that was weird. All right, I got a good one. Well, I think it's good because it's a fun one to figure out. We're doing a rankings. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them. So don't worry, you're not gonna hurt any feelings. Delta, United, JetBlue, U.S. Airways, or Frontier. We're rating airlines.
Oh God, I'm not American, so I've never flown like
That's
some
true.
of
You're way
those.
too nice. Scott,
Shout out to Air Canada. Ron?
Yeah, shout out to Air Canada.
Delta.
I've been mad at Air Canada a few times,
Delta?
but
Yeah.
I still love them.
is number 1.
Yeah, I don't fly a
Okay.
lot though. So I know you. What were so it was Delta? What were the other ones?
Delta, United, U.S. Air, JetBlue, and Frontier. And I may have just said them in my order, and I didn't even read them in order. I read them in my order.
I like United seems to have decent prices, and they seem to have more flights at least from Detroit. So I'd say United, and then I don't have enough experience to keep going down that list. I know that I think I can't. I never flew Jet. Maybe I did fly JetBlue. You guys have like out west. They have that. Is it Alaskan Air? Is that something?
Yeah, those used to. Yep.
That was a good.
Alaskan.
I liked Alaskan Air.
I've flown them before.
I've flown. The worst flight was Spirit. It was the only flight back from the Olympia, and this was just a couple years ago, 2019. Victoria and I were on our way back. I made the mistake of thinking, well, we'll go back Sunday. You know, we'll see the Olympia Saturday. We'll go home Sunday. And it was like the only thing available was like 6 a.m. So we were out till literally 1 o'clock in the morning, which is 4 o'clock in the morning Detroit time. Right. And then we had to like pack. We didn't realize, we're like, fuck, we got to pack now. And so we packed, we got to sleep, and then we had to wake up like 1 hour later and then fly all the way home on a seat that didn't recline. And it was cramped. Never again. Like, I will spend hundreds more dollars to not have that. Like, it was bad, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
So I can tell you that. But Spirit wasn't on the list, but they would be my last one if they were.
Frontier's my last one for sure.
I will say this much. I don't know a lot about like Frontier and Spirit and stuff, but I do know that I went through a phase where I was really upset at United because they I had repeated bad experiences with them, like losing my bags, canceling my connection, sticking me in a shitty hotel. Like, just, I remember being mad at United a few times and upset. And I don't think, and then I don't think I've ever had a problem with Delta. Like, I think every time I've flown Delta, it's just,
That's my jam.
cool.
Yeah, I love Delta
Yeah.
too. Delta's awesome.
So
I have
guess that's what I'd
I
say.
have the king of bad stories for Frontier. I flew them, same situation. Like, it was just the timing of the flight. I was like, fuck it. So I had to fly with them from Denver to Pittsburgh for the North Americans one year. And
You were
I
competing?
grabbed some. No, actually, I had my girlfriend at the time was.
Okay.
So grab some food in Denver. Go to the gate. They've closed the door. It's 14 minutes before the flight's supposed to leave, and I'm like, I'm on this flight. And they're like, the plane's there. They're like, yeah, we closed the door. I'm like, well, open the door. Nope. We closed the door. I'm like, did you fill my seat? No. Open the door. We don't do that. I was like, okay. I said, all right, I'm not going to freak out because I don't want to get arrested at the airport. Um, do you have a later flight? No. What happens to my bags? They're on this flight.
Oh man.
Okay. So I said, fuck it. I go, so what do I do? What will happen to my bags? They'll be delivered there. Like, okay. So I said, fuck it. Get on my phone, buy 2 flights, some other airline, jump on, fly to Pittsburgh. Get to Pittsburgh, go to the Frontier desk. No one's there. So I called them. I'm like, hey, this is what happened. They're like, oh, okay, well, no one will be back in there till Monday. So your bags are there. I'm like, well, it's Wednesday. Or no, it was Saturday or something. But basically, it was too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, that doesn't work. You have my stuff.
And your girl's competing.
And and so her suit's in there, her shoes are in there. I'm like, is this really the answer? And they're like, well, yeah, there's no one there. I go, well, can you call someone? I will pay someone out of my pocket cash to drive here and open the door and hand me my shit. We can't do that. I'm like, this is literally your answer. This is your customer service because they don't apparently they don't do a lot of flights. It's a small airline. And they're like, yeah, it's the way it is. And I'm like, are you like, what the fuck? So I was like, fuck it. We're going to the hotel. Of course, I just get on the phone, start making calls. Who has a suit? Who has shoes? We'll figure this out. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to go fight at the airport and see what I can get done. I end up going to the airport, getting to this desk where they're at, finding someone who worked across the way. And I'm like, do you know anyone that works there? Are they your friend? Can you get the code? And someone from a different airline opened that door for me.
No kidding.
And gave us our shit. But they literally were like, fuck you.
Wow.
And that was their full.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how you guys roll? Like, it just blew my mind that was acceptable. Like, there was no like, hey, I understand. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I was like, I had cash. I'm like, if I got to pay someone $300 to come get this fucking bag, done.
Oh yeah.
We're 12 weeks deep on a prep, and this is crazy. So
I guarantee someone on the staff is just sitting at home, smoking a bong, playing video games. And if you call them up and tell them you give them $250 to come down and give you your bags, they would be there in fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
listen, and that's the thing that blows my mind is like, truthfully, like not to be nuts, but like,
So funny.
you offer me
You could just
$250
go around
for
the
something
system.
like that. I'm like, done. It's gonna take an hour of my life. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doom, doom. You probably know people well enough. You could pull up out front and be like, watch my car. I'll be right back. Grab the cash, open the door, walk out, be in and out in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
But yeah, they literally were like, fuck off. So if I had to walk to meet you in Detroit
Yeah.
or fly them, at least I know my bags are going to make it. I'm walking.
Oh man.
So, but that kind of
Yeah,
stuff always makes me laugh because, of course, like, then you go online after the fact and you look at their reviews and you're like, well, fuck, if I'd have read these before, I'd have never been on this flight in the first place.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm shocked that they're even open when you start reading reviews. You're like, oh, this is just fuck you is actually your business motto. I like it.
Right. Sometimes you wonder though if like certain businesses, their reviews only really get hit by upset people. Like if you have a
Well,
good
that's definitely
flight,
a case.
do you give them a review?
No, that's
You
I agree
expect
with
a good
that
flight.
because reviews are tricky for that reason. Plus, someone's just an asshole. I mean, I used to have that when I owned the stores. Competitors of other stores would write reviews on my business, and I knew it was them. I'm like, well, that's awesome. And there's nothing you can do. You can't even erase reviews. There's nothing you can do to dispute them. Or let's say you got mad at me, Ron, and decided to piss on my business, and then you realize you shouldn't have done that, and you called, they'd be like,
Yeah.
that stays.
Yeah. There's a couple that happens sometimes. Like there's a couple people that for some reason they just had like a bad, like if you look at our gym's Google reviews, they're literally, it's like hundreds of 5 stars.
Yeah.
And
you
then
have
there's
two
like
1 stars.
there's like a 1 star and then like another 50 go by and then there's a 1 star. Like it's pretty sparse, right? And both those guys, or 3 of them, I think there's 3 people have done 1 stars. They train at the gym.
No kidding.
So it's like they went and had a bad like something happened the first
A
time.
cable broke while they were using it.
Yeah, like just a fucking right, like, or they went there the day we had like 3 cables down and a broken leg press.
Yeah.
And it was
They went there at
literally
3
like,
o'clock. It didn't get fixed till 5.
yeah, it was just like one of those things. The gym was crazy that week and the cable guy couldn't get in and just, whatever. And then, by the time they're on their 3rd workout, everything's fixed and stays fixed for the next year and a half.
Yeah.
So they just stay
the
there.
review
and they're
went up
happy.
immediately.
Yeah, but they put up a review and they can't. It's like, fuck.
You guys
Can't
are
throw a ball and not and bring it back. It's already gone.
Yeah.
You guys are known for good quality, for being professional, and having good communication. That's what it says right there.
Oh, excellent.
It's like that's
Sure
like
does.
taken from multiple reviews. Those are like repeated.
How many
things.
how many 1-stars do we have?
Let's see. Oh, I was actually in the middle of writing a review, but yes, I'll discard the 1 star. Now you got another one. No.
4 now.
Cut me off and gone.
You had 3.
You have 1 star, and then 4 4 stars, and then the rest of them are all 5 stars.
Oh, we only have 1-1-star?
I think so. Maybe I'm looking at that wrong. I don't want to
No,
click
it's
on
fine.
anything.
Fuck, maybe I don't know. Maybe
I might
I'm
be
thinking
wrong
of, like,
about that. It's a very
I'm
small.
thinking
You
of-
can see the.
Yeah,
I can
that's
put it
cool.
on there, but it's like a
You have
tiny
4.9
fraction.
average.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, maybe
what's funny,
Dusty. Maybe it's the 4 stars seem like 1 stars to me.
So you're gonna love this. So I went to a
Okay, 2.
that's
You got
exactly
2.
What it is? I went to a restaurant a couple weeks ago, and I just did a quick search. Wanted to try Thai food here, and I walk in and I see all these awards, but it's like 2018 best Thai, 2019 best this, and I made a joke while we were waiting. I was like, but there's no current ones. Then we eat the food, and it was literally the worst meal of my entire life. Then we went online to check reviews, and the reviews literally were, "This place used to be great, but."
Oh,
And I'm like,
That's
holy
so funny.
shit. It's exactly what I said when I saw him. Like, but wait a minute, none of these awards are current.
Right. The guy stole the place.
Literally, it's
happened.
probably what happened. I literally was like,
sold it.
son of a
or
bitch.
something.
Because we
That's
looked
funny.
it up. It was one of those things where like I know the place I used to go to is really good. So I come in with low expectations to begin with. And by the time we got to the car, I was like, I don't even want to talk about it. And it wasn't even cheap. And then when we go to leave, I had to go actually find the lady to pay her because she wasn't coming back to our table. And she goes, "How was everything?" I go, "Honestly, I'm just glad it's over." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, the food, the service, it was all just bad." She goes, "Okay," and swiped my card. I was like,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
well, he won't be back anyway, so fuck it. Get the $67. Let's do this.
I got to take a piss real bad, and I have a good question, so I have to go and come back. So you guys can, do whatever you want.
And then Dusty's
do what
got to
we do.
go, and you got to
Yeah.
go soon, right, Dusty?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do the question when he gets back, and then I'll go.
Okay.
All right. I'm leaving Ron a review right now.
Yeah, we'll leave him one that he has to pee in important times.
Yeah.
And that seems weird to us. Seems very weird to us.
Best gym on the West Coast. We'll just put that. Boom.
You know what's crazy? That's actually like true, like deadly true, is it really is one of the best gyms I've ever trained at. I've trained.
Yeah, it's a great
everywhere.
gym. It's a good gym.
I love the energy, even basic stuff. Like you just walk into that gym, there's energy.
Yeah.
And I've been there when they open, and I've been there all the way to when they close. It's just got a good vibe the whole time, and I think it's very similar to Muscle Factory that I train in Arizona. Like the owner being there pretty much all the time
yeah,
sets the tone for the place.
for sure.
Where it's like, sure, it's called West Coast Iron, but it's Ron's gym.
Yeah.
And I know he's got partners, so it's the same with them. But it's like, it's funny. But the guy who owns Muscle Factory was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna get another gym." I'm like, "Don't. You can't leave here." And he
I
likes
remember
to
you saying
credit,
that, yeah.
give too much credit to us for being there. And I'm like, this gym is because of you. Like, yeah, we brought people here, but they stayed here because of what you've done. And what you do
Exactly.
just standing here, So here he comes. Probably get that checked at your age. Just saying. Anyways. All right, question time, Mr. Prostate. Let's do this.
Okay. What is the worst hotel room you've ever stayed in?
I'm not going first, but I got mine, so go ahead.
Can I tell you guys about one I didn't stay in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because that's a weird question.
I remember when I was like 16 or 17, I was with my girlfriend and her best friend. And her best friend, they were gonna do like some sort of, there's like a school dance. Maybe we were 18, maybe it was like a prom, I can't remember. But she wanted to like get a hotel room with her boyfriend. That,
Of course she did.
You know, that for that whole thing. And for whatever reason, she went to Michigan Avenue in Inkster. There's places like the Bungalow Motel that was known for having this massive shootout back in the 80s. Like there's still bullet holes in it and stuff with like 3 armed felons with cops. And that's the kind of hotels these are. These are like the little string. And she just took us there. So she went to one of these places. And I remember thinking like, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I didn't get a lot of hotel rooms at the time. I'm like 16, 17 years old. And they showed us the room. And when they showed us the room, there was like people who lived in this hotel, just like hanging outside. And they see me, like 16-year-old white kid with 2 white girls getting escorted into the hotel room. They're like, yeah, you know, something's going on here.
Get some.
I'm surprised we got out of there, but we went in there and the smell was like just like terrible BO. It was like a prostitute motel. You know, we were in there for like 30 seconds tops and turned around and, you know, she ended up getting a better hotel, like in a nicer neighborhood, you know, better town and stuff. That it ended up working out, but I still have nightmares of that smell. It was the worst hotel ever. I did stay at a Days Inn in Columbus. I did stay in a Days Inn in Columbus for one night. It was like before my place was ready and I wanted to go a day early, and there was a swastika carved in this table. So there was that. Yeah.
Classy.
Oh, wow.
But there was that. But yeah, that's my story.
You know you're in a nice Days Inn when they don't replace that table with the
Right.
270 that they have in the hotel.
Good
Or
point.
at least go in and carve around it and turn it into like a shield.
It's a sun.
Or it's a sun or some sort of tribal symbol.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta love that they're like, that's fine. It still holds coffee. All
I
right,
like
moving on.
Ron's
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
We can fix this.
Yeah, let's change this. It's a knight with a shield. Yeah.
It's a giant carved table. Now it's the most expensive room because it's got the custom table. Oh, that's painful. That's painful.
So the worst room anyone ever tried to give me was clearly an accident. And it was at the Orleans Hotel in Vegas. And
Very old hotel.
So Emily and I went there for the Olympia, and it was obviously when it was still at the Orleans. And we thought, let's stay right at the hotel, right? So we got a room, and we check in, and we go in the room, and right away the room smells. And like the first words out of Emily's mouth are like, no. What? No. Like smelt in there. And then we walk right in the room with our bags, and we're like, what the fuck? It smells in here. It smelled like BO. And then I looked, and I started to see shit around the room. There's a Heineken bottle behind the dresser, and the dresser's like pulled out from the wall. So it's like someone pulled it out so they could get to the plugins.
Oh,
You know?
Left them.
And then there's a Heineken bottle back there, and a bottle cap, and a cigarette butt. And then I look, and there's like clearly cocaine all over the top of the desk, like white powder smeared around, like they had done lines there for 2 days straight and then not wiped it with a rag, you know. And it was I probably could have scraped one together if I went real hard on the edge,
Put it
That's
on a
how
plate, throw it
all
in
the rooms
freezer.
are.
Oh wait,
Isn't that how all the rooms are in at the Orleans in Las Vegas?
And Emily's laughing.
they charge extra for the ones that already have cocaine in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's laughing and she's like, there's like paper towel and a dirty towel on the floor by the bed. And then we look in the bathroom and there's like a shower towel on the floor in the bathroom.
Holy shit.
And we're like,
Yeah.
this room, fuck. So we just go right back downstairs. We're like, there's been a mistake. And they actually wound up giving us a nicer room. It was like a small suite. So, but obviously they clearly hadn't cleaned that room. It was just one of those things. Tried to fucking give it to us. It was pretty funny.
I got to tell you though, Scott, Ron has the weirdest experiences in hotels. I mean, Ron's the only person I know who gets a hotel in, I don't know, let's say England, and someone sends a hooker to his room.
What?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
You got to go there real quick because
fuck, I forgot about that story. Did I tell?
How can you forget about how? I don't know.
So, Scott, you have no idea how many weird stories we have. So I just remembered it.
Pretty sure I told that story before, but
I've never heard it.
Didn't hear it. We were in Melbourne for the Arnold, Australia.
That's right.
And we're staying at I think it's the Hilton we stay at there, so it's really nice. It's like awesome hotel. And we're on the last day of the expo, so it's like the Sunday morning. And I don't have to be to the booth till like 11 or noon, I think, that day, because kind of a short day. And anyway, so I've got a little bit of time. I've had breakfast and I'm just going to lay down. I came back upstairs from breakfast and I got like an hour or two to kill. So I'm just going to like lay down and chill out. And I lay down on the bed and I guess let's say it's like 9:30 a.m., right? Or 10 a.m. even. And I lay down on the bed and I hear my door open. Like a knock. I hear a knock and I go, no, thank you. Cause I think it's a cleaning woman. Right. Yeah. And like a knock. And it's about that time, right around 10 a.m. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And then I hear my door open and I think, oh, they're coming in to clean my room, but I don't need my room cleaned. I'm fine. So I go, it's okay. And then this woman comes around the corner into my room. And I know immediately she's not a cleaning woman. She is a drop dead, super hot, I'd say like 5 foot tall Asian girl, big tits, sexy outfit. She looks fucking hot. And she's in like big like platform heel boots and like she's smoking hot. And she's got like a bag and she looks like, I was like, holy shit. Like I was just shocked because like it's not what you're expecting, right?
Yeah.
And I just go, hello? And I can't remember what name she said. She goes, are you Thomas? She goes, Thomas. And I go, no, I'm not Thomas. And she goes, yeah, you are. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I am.
On second thought, yes, I am.
Maybe I am. So I go, no, I'm pretty sure I'm not Thomas. And she shows me her phone and the text says my room number. Huh. It's like, 2410 or whatever. And I'm like, sorry, I'm not Thomas. And she immediately starts walking out of my room. And I go, how did you get a key? And she just like walks out. She goes, I'm really sorry. I thought this was the right room. And then she just like walks away.
Huh.
And I'm like, oh, that was a prostitute, clearly.
Yeah.
Sent to fuck someone. And they were given a key.
From the front desk.
I call down and I go, I just had, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I go, I just want to let you know, like, there may be like a security issue with my room.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, like I said, I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble, but someone seems to have issued a key for my room. And I'm going to need a new key. And I would like it if someone would bring that up to me because I don't feel like coming down to get a new key. And they're like, well, what happened? And I'm like, well, okay, I'll tell you the story. And I just told her exactly what happened. And I said, this person was clearly, I think
At work.
sent to entertain. And she goes, well, what makes you think that? And I'm like, she was like, dressed to fuck. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
I have no other way to word this.
And when I said that, she goes, oh, okay. Thank you very much. We will send someone up to your room with a new key right away. And they sent someone up. And then when I got back from the expo that night, there was a letter under my door. And it was like, our security issue with your room earlier has been dealt with, and the person responsible has been disciplined.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Somebody's got a little hooker
Side
game
gig.
going on at the front desk, a little side gig. You know,
That's crazy.
they got the room wrong.
Let me ask you this: were you single at the time?
Oh no, I didn't
Okay,
tell Emily about it right away. It was hilarious. Like,
If
I
he
turned
was,
down
he
a
would
free
have been
hooker.
Thomas.
Yeah, there would have been a lot more decisions to make had you not been. You know.
He's like, well, I've done dumber things. Let's do this. Thomas it is.
So then the joke for the rest of the weekend was, well, maybe she didn't get the room wrong. She got the name wrong. Maybe it was one of our distributors down there saying thank you for all the mutant videos. And, you know,
I love Mutant on a Mission. Send her to Ron.
yeah, I love being on a mission. Send Ron a little entertainment. So, do you remember the movie Lost in Translation with Bill Murray?
Yes.
Do you remember when he first gets to Japan and they send him that like rape fantasy hooker, and he doesn't know what to do? Like, this hooker comes to his room and he's like, oh, okay. So as soon as he starts touching her, she's like, no, don't hit me. And he's like, I'm not. And she's like, but that's what she thought. Like, that was what she was sent there to be, was like, and he's like, it was really awkward. It's a fucking hilarious scene.
And that's essentially what happened to Ron.
No. But it made me laugh. Yeah.
Oh, that's good shit. Oh, I'm glad that I completely derailed our question to get a very good story to end the show.
That was good. That was very good.
Okay, guys. Quick shout out to Mindful Hunter off Instagram. He bow hunted a bear,
Whew.
and he gave me some bear ham.
No kidding.
And I didn't even know you could make bear ham, but I guess
Yeah.
Neither.
that's what you call it. It's how you make it. That's what makes it a ham.
Huh, okay.
And it kind of tastes like soft beef jerky, to be honest.
It doesn't sound
So
bad.
so it's delicious.
Nice.
So I just wanted to say thanks to him for that. If you're into the hunting stuff, he's got a podcast, Mindful Hunter, so check him out. His name's Jay. Good guy, trains at my gym. And that rounds out the show for me. You guys all good?
All
like,
good.
share, subscribe, all that stuff. Actually, I do have to say that the show gets a lot of really cool interactions from everybody. I appreciate going through. I know you guys read that stuff too. But I appreciate all the positivity.
I try to even like drop a comment or like some comments while I'm at it, just to help them, help move things.
Yeah. But thank you guys. We appreciate it very much.
Okay. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
I'm just doing the motion. I'm just doing the motion. You need to
We didn't see your
my
hand.
motion's not on the camera because I'm on my big camera.
Yeah.
Harvey,
Yeah.
ring the bell. Ring the bell,
you
Harvey. There he is.
Thanks, Dusty. I knew you weren't letting me down. Okay. Thanks, everybody. It's just bodybuilding.